What?
What happened?
What you saying, Martini?
Go get it. I ain't got no toy. Go get it. You know where your toy is at. Go get it.
That's what you get for going to Walmart and getting her toys all the time.
Yeah.
She's looking for one.
Yeah, I gotta get her one.
I want to thank RV Mattress by Brooklyn Bedding for sponsoring this video. I've got one of their mattresses in my Bigfoot, and I love it. You get a 120-night sleep trial, 10-year warranty, free shipping. Best of all, it's made right here in the United States of America. I think it's down somewhere around Phoenix. Anyway, so go to rvmattress.com/CamperVanKevin and use the coupon code CamperVanKevin to get 20% off your purchase. All right. Thank you, Brooklyn Bedding. Now, back to our regularly scheduled program. Hey, everybody. Camper Van Kevin here. How are y'all doing today? Me? I'm good. You notice anything different about RV Base Camp? That's right. We got Red back. Been 4 weeks, maybe 5. 4 weeks for sure. I got a story to tell you about Red. Got her all nice and cleaned up. Felix has some tire shine. He said that I needed more tire shine for Red, so that's what we did. We got our friend here, Paul. He's the guy that I bought the Red tracker from. He's come up here to... You got enough tools?
Oh, I just a long way to go not to have everything, so
might as well. As you know, this Sidekick here was mine. I had it up in New Mexico, and very, very reliable little truck. Air conditioner works, new tires, new brakes, new everything on it. I did a body lift on it, which made the back bumper sag, but I got a rear bumper, a TJ bumper to put on it. This little truck is 91 model. Got a little bit of rust on it, not bad. 114,000 miles, 5-speed. It's got the auto hubs, which is the only tracker I've ever had that had that. But anyway, long story short, Red here was in the shop and Felix was in the hospital. I said, well, he said, just drive, he calls it Betty White. I called it the Woof wagon. He said, just drive Betty White and don't worry about it. So I drove it for 2 days and then it wouldn't start. I guess it's mad at me for selling it. But yeah, it's got the headers on it, the Calmini headers. It's got some Calmini suspension. This air conditioner is so cold it'll make you hurt. New battery. I'm showing everybody mine and your.
Oh.
So got Paul working on it today.
Yeah.
So you get any sleep last night? Some? Yeah. Yeah. We'll just a couple more days. You go to Phoenix for our
Tuesday.
See a doctor and
See the doctor.
make a plan.
Yeah.
Making a plan. Look at that baby, man. Don't you go in there, baby MaeMae. I'm sorry. That is not your truck. You're going to do that one day. Uh-oh, wrong way. You're going to do that one day and someone's going to take you away. So our friend Craig and Sandra, friends for Craig and Sandra, they came and stayed with us. And Craig's pretty handy. He diagnosed that he thought that it was a fuel pump. So, got a place to start as any. You wouldn't believe this truck right here has 300,000 miles on it, would you? That's how you can have nice things and be a mechanic, right? That's when it comes in handy.
When you have 300,000 miles, you better be a mechanic.
Yeah, I already showed that. So all you did was front end work and some axles under it, right?
Yeah, I had to change the wheel bearings, rear wheel bearings, seals, and axles, and the whole front end was rebuilt.
But don't burn any oil. 5.4.
Yeah, it runs great.
Look, it looks great.
We just drove it to California. Not that I like going there, but
Right. Well, we don't go there unless we must.
It was for a special person. Is the only reason I went.
Well, I try to stay in the United States of America when I can, but if I have to go, I'll go. Thank you for bringing my wheels from Phoenix.
Oh yeah. I brought your wheels. That's the ones that came on the tracker when I bought it.
Put those wheels on?
No. So here are the factory wheels that came on red. I like them a lot. It's one of my favorite styles, but I didn't have a way of getting them back from Phoenix, and Paul was like, hey, I'm coming up from Phoenix, can I bring you anything? I said, yeah, how about my wheels and tires? But the tires are shot. But these wheels, I'll put them under one of my buildings, and I'll keep it for the future, because you never know. Hey, Martini. Hey, Daddy. Are we getting another a tracker? No, baby, just spare wheels if we need them. Look at my purple flowers out here. I hear Betty White crank up. They must be making progress. Hey, Foxy. What was it?
See how doggy it is? Oh, look at that.
Yeah, bolt's loose. Paul says it's pumping a little bit of gas, but he don't think it's pumping enough. He said it's not getting enough gas. Okay, we got to talk about red. That's why you're watching the video, right? I don't know where to begin. I think I'm going to sit down for a second here on my porch, gather my thoughts with old Tuck Tuck here. Man, you need to gather your thoughts before you get the video camera out. You're right, Tuck. You're right. No leaky leakies. Okay, back up. Okay, so if you followed me for the last few years, you know that you've seen me buy and sell and trade vehicles. I am nothing like I used to be back in my 20s and 30s. I would be at a job, if I did residential, if there's a car sitting in the driveway, it didn't look like anybody was driving it, well, I'd make an offer on it. I had something wrong with it, I didn't care. I'd fix it, clean it up, sell it. Sometimes I put a fender on it, sometimes I throw a paint job on it, just whatever it needed. And it was kind of a hobby. Dozens through the years, through the decades. And I got to enjoy them for a while, which was fun. I like driving different things. I'm Southern. It takes me a minute. I'm telling you that to tell you this. In all of my cars that I've bought, I either broke even, got the miles out, or made money on all those cars. Except for one. What do you call that? The Albatross? Anyway, I highly suggest not putting a 350 Chevrolet in a 1978 Datsun 280Z if you ever want your money back. And the reason I sold it is so I wouldn't kill myself in it. That car was fast. I could pick up the front end just a little bit, taking off. And I drove it like a maniac. And before I died or lost my license, I sold it. And I sold it at a loss. If I remember correctly, I lost $6,000. But you know what? They got me off track. I got my life and I got my license. Educations are expensive. It's okay to go to school, but it's no fun paying tuition twice. I tell you that to tell you this. Geo trackers, this is my 5th one, number 5. And as you well know, used car prices have soared. New cars too. It's fixing to change really, really quick. They're fixing to plummet. But back a year and a half ago when I bought Red, prices were up. I'm trading hands. And if you wanted a nice tracker, the woods were full of junk, $3,500, $4,500. That used to buy you a very nice tracker. Not anymore. I gave $7,000 for Red. They wanted 8. I gave them 7. It's a bit much for a 96 model with 100,000 miles on it. But the condition was incredible. And it had accessories on it. This white fiberglass top, that's $1,500. Those brand new BFG and wheels, that's about $1,500. So that's total $3,000. So that's like buying the tracker for $4,000 with the accessories I would have put on anyway. Okay? Now, you can talk yourself into or out of anything. And I'm telling you what I talked myself into. So I got $7,000 in it. $300 for the window tint, $400 to get the dents out. I fixed the air conditioning 4 or 5 times. I'm beginning to question if I'll ever get my money out of Red if I sell it, but I don't think I'm going to sell it. Now, I don't pretend to think that I have the nicest tracker out there, but I've got one of the nicest. I'm sure if you look hard enough and take your time, you'll find one. This originally came with a convertible top, and this 2-piece hardtop by Rally is a much sought after accessory. I think they're still making them. The wheels, I wouldn't have bought them, but you know, they look pretty good. The paint, 90, 95%, interior 90, 95%. And I thought the engine was the same. You have to open the hood by going in right here. So the interior is pretty nice. And also, it was already set up for towing. So all of this and the tow bar was included. And when I purchased it, I found a receipt where they had just put a clutch in it a few thousand miles prior. So my first thing that went majorly wrong with the engine was the manifold gasket was leaking. There were 2 bolts missing, 2 were loose, and not a whole lot more holding it on. And I tried tightening it. I put in new bolts. It didn't matter. I finally had to take it to a shop. They took the manifold off, ground it flat, and put on. That was $350, $400. Now I'm getting into a little bit of money. That's okay. I like it. I enjoy it. I put on somewhere between 5,000 and 10,000 miles since I had it, and it ran good. Ran smooth as a Singer sewing machine until it didn't. So you may remember I took it to that shop in Sholo, and they kept it 8 days, 10 days, and said all that was wrong with it pushing a bunch of coolant up into the reservoir was a bad cap. They put on a fan clutch. I supplied the part, and they still charged me $160. Then they said they fixed the air conditioning, which they didn't. I had to check my receipt, somewhere between $450 and $500. I made it a half mile from the shop, water pouring everywhere. The air conditioning compressor was overcharged. Pow! Blew the It's like a safety valve or something somewhere on the AC system. Took it back to him. But even before I picked it up, when I picked it up, I looked in the radiator. Didn't see any coolant. I watched the guy pour in a gallon, almost a gallon worth of coolant in this radiator when they told me it was done after 10 days. And if you remember that video, you remember how upset I was. Drove it back to the shop. They said, oh yeah, it's the head gasket. But they got their money. And everybody's like, oh, please name the shop. Please name the shop. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. They don't need 70,000 people calling them up, giving them a hard time. But what I did do, everybody that told me I could trust that shop, I went to them each personally and told them my story. They told them they shouldn't refer. And I thought that was good enough. So don't forget what I told you about that. It's coming. So I met a lady that drives a tracker here, and she watches the channel, as a matter of fact. Found her down at Dollar General, and she told me that she had a geo tracker mechanic over in St. John's, that he was the best, that I could trust him. So I went and got my RV, my Bigfoot, hooked her up. I took it over there. The guy that runs the shop, super knowledgeable. Now, he kept it 4 weeks, but he had trouble with a lot of the parts. Put on a new head gasket. And he says, Kevin, the head bolts only had 7 pounds of pressure holding the head on. He said, you just get this thing? I said, no, I put 10,000 miles on it that way. He said, that's impossible. I said, I did it. So I put a new head gasket on. He put a new timing set on. He said that the timing was off of full gear. The distributor, it was out of time over there. Put me on a new water pump. So now we're just getting warmed up. He says, Kevin, you need new shocks and struts. I kind of knew that. He said, you need new axles too. Parts aren't that much, just hard to find, and a lot of trouble to take off a geo tracker. So what are we up to now? Struts, shocks, axles, head gasket, timing set, plugs, wires, all that. And he worked on the air conditioner, put on a new accumulator. He had to go up under the dash and put in a, that's not the accumulator, expansion valve. I said, while you're in there, put me in a brand new heater core. He says, I don't need it. I said, I don't care, put me one in. So all this thing is taking time, getting these parts. Anyway, worked on the air conditioner, and it failed while it was in the shop. I think something about the dryer, something busted loose. It had little beads that contaminated the entire air conditioning system. So guess what? My entire air conditioning system's new. I mean, used the hoses and used the AC radiator that I had, but the majority of it's new. Let me tell you what, it was worth the wait. Before, this thing felt like a toy, taking it down the road. In fact, I kind of thought that Felix's had more power than mine. Well, it did. It's out of time. Bad. He said 3 of the valves were so tight on here, he couldn't see how it was even running. I said, well, it ran smooth. So, somebody was in this motor. We don't know what or why. But while he had the head off, I said, let's rebuild it if we got to. And he said no. He looked on the walls of the cylinders. He said, you got an easy 70, 80,000 miles left to go. He said, I ain't going to rebuild it. Don't need it. That's the kind of mechanic you need. So what all that cost? A lot. But this is what I want to keep. This is what I like driving. I may be getting a road car or road SUV so that with everything that's going on with my health and Felix's health down in Phoenix, we have this is great for around town. This is great for where I live. This is not great for going to Phoenix on the interstates and stuff. it'll do it. It's $4,000 for all that work. So now where am I at? 12,000? 13,000? I'll never see my money. But if I drive it for 10 years, it's a nothing burger. And that's what it took. So I could have walked away at 7,000 and went and got something else, spent 4,000 or 5,000. And I might have got 100,000 miles out of it, or it might have broke when I pulled out of the people's driveway I got it from. So I decided to put my money here. And I hope it's not going to be like my 280Z. I usually do really good in my trading and everything, but this one bit me, and that's all right. And I'm not telling you because I want you to send money. That's what people are going to say. No, I'm telling you what things cost. And there are a lot of people that appreciate that. I know I do. So it turns out, let me show you how small the world is. It turns out that one of the mechanics in St. John's, he has a small YouTube channel. And he saw the sticker on the back of Red. And when they took the glove box off, they found stickers. I give them to people when I meet people in person. So he looked up my videos, unbeknownst to me, and he's found a video about the shop up here. And he looked all over for a name. I didn't tell the name. Well, he told his boss about it. Now, in the course of the month that my tracker's been over there, I've become pretty good friends with this shop owner. I like him. He likes me. We can do good business together. And if he wasn't so busy, and we could be real good friends. You ever meet somebody like that? Anyway, his mechanic told him about, I felt like I got ripped off. And he agreed. So when I went to pick up the car and I got the bill, he says, I want to know what shop ripped you off in Sholo. I said, I ain't gonna tell you. I don't want nothing to come between mine and your, because you don't know how shops are connected, right? People know each other, right? I don't want no enemies at my new home up here. And he said, I want to know. My mechanic's standing there too. They have a YouTube channel. I said, fine. I told him. His eyes got about that big. He said, you're kidding, right? I said, I'm serious. He said, they did all this mess, diagnosing it, air conditioning, all that. I said, yes, sir. He said, well. He said, I've sent all my front end work over there for years. Years. We don't have a front end alignment machine here. He said, they'll never, ever hear anything from me again. I'll never refer them again. So, I didn't have to do anything. And that's my story. How long have I been talking? 30 minutes? That hitch got to come off to get to the tank?
Should have. But I don't have a
Torch?
needed a, I think it was like a 17 or 18 wrench and I didn't have one.
Okay, well, Paul's got it on the run. He thinks it is a faulty, weak fuel pump. So he's taking the hitch off. I'm going to drop the tank, put a new fuel pump on it. We hope. But I think that makes today's video. I've been jibber jabbering way too much. If we keep on, we're going to have a half hour special. So I'm going to end this little video where, right here, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you guys so much for watching my videos. Hey, we'll see you again soon. And you guys take care. And as always, I give God the glory for my life. Jesus Christ, He's my Savior. See you next time. Bye from RV Base Camp, Arizona.